In the late 1850s, Bengal's farmlands turned blue, not from peace, but from pain. The bright blue indigo dye, in high demand in Europe, brought deep suffering to Indian farmers. Forced to grow indigo instead of food, thousands were trapped in debt, hunger, and fear. What followed was one of India's earliest and most powerful peasant movements, the Indigo Revolt, or Nil Bidroha. Indigo farming in Bengal began around 1777. British planters needed the dye for textile mills. To meet the demand, they used two systems. One was Nij system, where planters used their own land. The other was more harmful, the Rioti system, where Indian farmers were made to grow indigo on part of their land through contracts. Farmers were given loans to grow the crop, but prices were kept very low and interest rates were high. Farmers couldn't grow enough food. Many fell into a cycle of lifelong debt. If anyone refused to grow indigo, they were punished. Their crops were burned, homes destroyed, and families attacked. The system was completely unfair. Planters formed groups to keep prices down. Farmers couldn't sell to others. They had no power to negotiate. Even if they wanted to stop, they were forced to continue. In many villages, debts passed on from one generation to the next. In March 1859, things changed. In Nadia district, farmers refused to grow indigo. It was a small but bold act. The fire of protest spread fast. In Jessore, Pabna, Khulna, Barasat, and other areas, thousands of farmers joined in. They stopped working, refused to deliver crops, and attacked indigo factories. Some planters were even put on public trial. Women joined bravely, fighting with household tools. Former factory workers gave farmers inside information. Some landowners, angry at the growing power of British planters, gave support. The revolt quickly turned into a wave of resistance. The British reacted harshly. Police were sent. Farmers were jailed, beaten, and threatened. In March 1860, the government passed a law to keep the contracts going. But the pressure was building. An Indigo Commission was set up to look into the matter. Farmers shared their pain. One man, Haji Mullah, said he'd rather beg than grow indigo again. The commission agreed. It called the system cruel and unfair. By November 1860, the government ordered that no farmer could be forced to grow indigo. Planters, without support, began closing their factories and leaving Bengal. Indigo farming moved to Bihar, but the struggle followed. Years later, in 1917, Mahatma Gandhi would lead the Champaran Satyagraha against similar oppression. Many people helped lead the revolt. In Nadia, the Biswas brothers spread awareness. In Bardaman, Rafiq Mondal united farmers. In Pabna, Kader Molla destroyed indigo depots. Dinabandhu Mitra wrote the play Neel Darpan, showing the farmers' pain. Reverend James Long translated it and was punished by the British. Digambar Biswas, a landowner, gave shelter and help to protesters. Behari Lal Gupta, a young lawyer, defended the farmers for free. People from all walks of life played a role. Village leaders kept the protests alive. Women protected their homes and joined strikes. Former workers helped plan actions. Writers and newspapers spread the message across Bengal. Songs and stories kept their bravery alive. This revolt changed history. It brought down a cruel farming system. It gave farmers their rights back. It inspired later movements like Champaran, Bardoli, and Mopla. It showed the world how ordinary people could stand up against injustice without violence. The Indigo Revolt is remembered even today. It was not just a fight for land. It was a fight for dignity, freedom, and the right to choose. It lit the first flame of resistance that would later grow into India's freedom struggle. Visit iasexpress.net for notes, mind maps, and animated videos for UPSC and State PSC preparation.